Good morning. It is February 9th, 2026, Monday of the fifth week in Ordinary Time, and it is 9:38 a.m. I'm presently at Navigation Center, Redwood City, and I'm listening to St. Therese Parish of the Archdiocese of Los Angeles, where the Carmelite friars of St. Joseph reside as the pastoral administration of St. Therese Catholic Church Parish in Alhambra, California. And it is the daily Mass and liturgy. And as I attend Holy Mass online with the Carmelite priests, there's a different part of my baptism I enter into because the priest celebrant is Carmelite. And thus, the formation I received at the initial stages of my adulthood is very much grounded through the Order of Carmel. And I was recalling that my anniversary date of entrance into Carmel is and was on February 11th, 1997. And during discernment with the Order of Carmel, there was a development of stages in the discernment. And this development of stage began as a candidate in September 1996 after I graduated high school and turned 18 in August of 1996. I became a candidate and then was approved to enter as a postulant. Postulant, postulare means to knock. So I knocked at the entrance door of Carmel and asked to enter. And the process of approval for entrance required that candidacy grace period from September until that date of approval for preparation, where the date was set for appointed entrance on February 11th, 1997. At the date of entrance, I now become a postulant, where I continue to discern the knock of entering into the Order of Carmel. And knocking means there's different stages of entrance. And that next stage was postulare. And this postulare means I come into the congregation and I live with the sisters and at another level of relationship. And this is the first time I enter into the cloister area of the religious congregation. As a candidate, I simply joined in their community prayers, which has a cloister part about it, but I'm not inside. I'm simply participating in their public worship as a guest, as a candidate for their religious order. Once I entered into an interview process of application, and the interview process conducts itself through a council of members. They call this the general council. Um, just like organizations have a board of directors, the Carmelite sisters have a general council, and this general council is composed of, I believe, 5 women. One is the mother general, one is the vicar general, and then the secretary is there, and some superior, the novice directress is there, and I think, and then the vocation directress, which is the person I spoke to during my candidacy. And the candidacy, I did not live in the cloister. I lived in a house separate from the retreat house. And during that postulare, I started discerning about who would be my patron saint. And this patron saint becomes your name, your namesake. And I have always loved the name Agnes. Agnes was um, the name of someone my mother loved very much. Her name was Agnes. I'm not sure who she is. I think she may be a cousin or something. But the name Agnes is very special to my mother. And I learned that the name Agnes was the name of a saint in Rome who wanted to marry Jesus. And she wanted to be the bride of Christ. And and that concept of being the bride of Christ really attracted me in my baptism. And then in that year 1997, we were also celebrating the doctorship of St. Therese of Lisieux. And she was 15 years old and entered Carmel. I met Carmel when I was 15 as a junior auxiliary. And then she entered Carmel as a teenager. I entered Carmel as a teenager, as an 18-year-old. And so I felt this strong connection with St. Therese. And she wrote a book, and she was um, an author. It was just very attractive to me as a female to know a saint who knew how to read, who knew how to write, and spoke very clearly about the church in her writing. And she was declared doctor of the church. And that concept of doctor of the church was very, very distinct in my attractiveness towards her as a patron saint. And so when it came to knocking at the door and asking to further my entrance into Carmel as a novice, I requested the name Sister Agnes Therese of the Child Jesus. I chose the name of the Child Jesus because the country of the Philippines is very dedicated to the Divine Child. We have in Cebu, Christianity started with the Divine Child, and we have an Infant of Prague devotion. And so the Child Jesus has always been something that has been part of my Christianity that has originated from the Philippine Islands. So I requested the name Sister Agnes Therese of the Child Jesus. And the Mother General named me Sister Agnes Therese of the Child Jesus.